Hello again. It is me, Eudora Humble, here to finish my obligation. And behind me is this small dog. She will be joining us this evening, and I expect you all will be respectful to her. She is a good girl. Now, but in our previous excursion, I told you a little bit about Thin Bloods. I killed some gang members, thwarted an assassination attempt, usual things within the world of darkness. Now we will continue on our journey until I don't have to do this anymore. Let's begin. Yes, as well, there were two sisters, Therese and Jeanette Vorman. They were Malkavian. They are a Malkavian, and turns out they were two personalities within the same person. It was an exhausting affair. However, I had decided to support one over the other because, well, one would be a lot easier to manipulate, it seems. And that one would be Jeanette Vorman. And now we are on our way to find Bertram Tongue.
Look who finally made it. Thought you'd never find me, did you, sweetheart?
As well as many other clans, I also do loathe Nosferatu, which is, it seems, what Bertram Tongue is a part of. You can tell because of his grotesque appearance. I absolutely loathe looking at them. They look awful and disgusting. And if I still had a gag reflex, I think I would vomit every time I looked at them, but thankfully, that's not a thing I use anymore. You knew I was looking for you?
I've gotten good at knowing when I'm wanted.
Great.
So you're who I'm waiting on. Someone must have faith in you, Cupcake. That, or they want you out of the picture. Interesting choice either way.
You must be Bertram Tongue.
The one and only. But don't bother with the introductions, fledgling. I know who you are.
You do.
News travels down the kindred grapevine like wildfire. And that courtroom spat between LaCroix and Nines Rodriguez is a juicy little morsel. And you in the middle. How interesting.
That's great. So you know how I survived.
Oh, you did you? Well, I wasn't worried. So why did you need to find me? What did you need?
I need you to get to that warehouse for Mercurio. You know Mercurio?
Oh, never mind. The warehouse, though. I've been watching the place. The Sabbat has a bunch of low-life humans working day and night to move stuff through there. There's some major staging going on.
The Sabbat.
The Sabbat. Jeez, you are green. It's like this. We're all monsters, like it or not. I'm not gonna say the Sabbat are the evil vampires, because none of us are the good guys here. But the Sabbat, they glorify their monstrous nature. They refuse to hide it, and go out of their way to show it. They're also brainless and reckless. They have a life expectancy of a vampire fruit fly.
But should I only expect to encounter humans there?
As far as I can tell. The humans seem to know the score from the way they've been talking. I think most of them have aspirations of joining the next graduating class of shovelheads. Ugh, losers.
They know they work for vampires.
Yeah, the Sabbat like everyone to know just who they're dealing with. So if you get in there and have to bust a few heads, don't feel bad. Think of it as upholding the Masquerade.
Can you get me in there without being detected?
Yes, I can. Just tell me when you're ready, and we'll leave. Once you're there, however, you're on your own. You'll have to get into the place and plant the explosives in the middle office to take the whole structure down.
I suppose we're ready enough. There's not much else. Actually, let's try to
All
sell
right,
some
I
of the
guess.
things that
Come back when
we
you're ready to
found
go.
in the previous
But don't
episode.
be too long, fledgling. This isn't really something we planned around your schedule.
Yes, of course. Whatever. No. So, the Sabbat was mentioned, and for the most part, Bertram Tongue is correct. They do glorify their monstrous nature. They take pride in it, which I find, frankly, what's the word? Caveman? Pedestrian? Not pedestrian, but Neanderthal. They remind me of Neanderthals, because simply the beast within you is not a smart thing, and they take pride in letting their beast out and showing it to all who look upon them, and, well, it doesn't make them seem very smart now, does it? Oh, the police, of course.
Yeah, I'm on break.
Oh, on break.
Move along.
Crime scene. Gonna have to ask you to step back, please.
What's going on?
Some lunatic broke into the gallery and slashed up the paintings. Everyone's a critic these days, huh?
Of course. I just hope they catch the girl, or person who did this. Bye.
Move along.
Let's see. Yes. Instant cash. Buy, sell, trade. A pawn shop. This is where I was looking for.
Hey.
Yes.
How's it going? You, looking to buy or sell or...
I'm looking to sell something.
Really? Well, let me see what you got.
Well, I have this... Let's see. I have a small amount of cash. I have a gold ring. I will sell that. Some estrogen and a car stereo.
Thanks for coming back. What you need?
I would like to buy weapons.
No, not really. Sorry.
You will sell your weapons to me.
Okay. Hey, it's cool. I'm overstocked anyhow. Take a look and feel free to come back anytime.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. It seems all he has is ammunition, which is fine enough. That's what I was looking for anyway. That should be enough. No. A few more, maybe. And lastly, before we take off on this mission, I would like to see if there are any more points that I can spend. Yes, because I have much experience. What's this? Target will fall asleep for 20 seconds or longer. A blood shield. Firearms. I will add to our perception.
You ready to go?
Yes. I'll have some questions for you when I get back. Pick me up at my haven after I sleep the day through, and then we'll go. Or I'll have some questions for you when I get back. Let's go. Perfect.
What's going on here tonight? Marcus is all in everyone's face and shit.
Didn't you hear? A new shipment came in, some pretty serious hardware.
Yeah, I heard. But what the fuck? We get that kind of shit in here all the time. What's so different about tonight?
I don't know. Marcus is tense as a motherfucker. Maybe you heard something.
Like what?
Like, I don't know, but keep your fucking eyes open. Someone better tell those clowns in the freight house to quit playing cards before Marcus comes out and starts peeling fucking caps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
See, I've gotten much better since the last time I played. Just give me your ammo. Perfect. Oof. Well then. Yes, finally. Who is this? A gang girl.
Warehouse.
Of course.
Your handiwork, I presume?
Yes, obviously.
Hopefully no Sabbat saw you escape. They can be somewhat antagonistic.
Oh, they can. I had no idea. Who are you, and why are you
I see
following
my
me?
reputation, for once, does not precede me. My name is Beckett. I haven't been following you per se. We've just coincidentally been at the same places at the same time, for different reasons. So sorry if I unnerved you. Tell
I
me,
wasn't unnerved.
have you by chance seen or felt anything strange since your embrace?
Not that I would tell you.
Most of my contacts here report sensing something unusual in the night air, like a sense of dread or pressure. but I'm not a native to these parts, so I can't tell if it's irregular. And since you're still fresh, perhaps you're not attuned to it. Pleasure
Sure.
meeting your acquaintance, but there are rumblings for me to discredit. We shall, I'm certain, meet again. Or never again. Good night, young one. And be careful. You're very likely being hunted by the Sabbat.
Of course. Good night, Beckett. I've done it! I have exploded a Sabbat hideout. Congratulations to me. Now let's ask Bertram Tongue some questions.
Nice work, Cupcake. I felt that explosion a mile away. It's all over the news, too. Man, there's gonna be some pissed off Sabbat just howling for blood tonight.
Thanks. Do you know someone named Beckett?
Well, I know of him. Why?
I heard he
No
was in
kidding.
town.
Huh. Must be something major happening if he's in town. Beckett is a historian of sorts. He's unearthed more vampire lore than anyone.
Interesting.
Well, that's all Beckett does. Seek the truth behind our condition.
Alright, Bertram. I have some questions.
What do you need?
What about you and Therese Warman?
That was just silly vampire politicking, Cupcake. No more. You get used to that kind of thing.
I think Therese wanted you dead. Or did you know they were the same person? No, I think Therese
Yeah,
really
no
wanted
kidding.
you dead.
Now that the Camarillas moved into L.A., Therese wants the title of Prince of Santa Monica. I guess she saw me as a threat. Funny
Well,
thing is,
She's
I
no
could
longer
care
going to become
less.
prince. Are you not
I
cut out
wouldn't
for
want
the
to be the
job?
Prince of Terre Haute. I leave that headache to the Ventru. Besides, there's only like 4 vampires in all of Santa Monica. Some kingdom.
That is funny. I wanted to ask
Like
you about
what?
something. No, never mind. So let's look at the log and see if we have anything else left. Ah, yes. Need to report to Prince LaCroix. Like the drink. I suppose this cab is the way to get there, but before we leave this area, there's one last thing that I was hoping to do before I left.
What's the hops, bro?
What's the haps? What a thing to say.
Oceans.
Whoa, oops. Now let's go back. Hopefully they've forgotten that they're mad at me.
Someone there? Evening.
Perfect. I would like to ask you some
Be my
questions.
guest.
How did you get to be a
I just
thin
come
blood?
to town for the surf tourney. Seems like years ago, but it's been about 6 months now. Every night during the finals, I used to hit the local diner after the beach parties fizzled out in the AM. That's where I met her.
Met who?
She had a natural beauty. Not like all the plastic dolls littering the sand. Her name was Lily. I remember introducing myself, the way she seemed grateful for the company. Well, a few nights after our meeting, we were on the beach alone.
Go on.
She tried to tell me what she was, but I didn't understand. And so she showed me. I was furious with her when I took it all in. I cursed her and left, never really knowing what I was. Well, I realise now how she must have felt. So here I am now, a mystery to myself.
Is Lily
Clinically,
dead?
yes. But honestly, I don't know. I suppose I'd have moved on by now if I didn't think she'd show up one of these nights. There's a lot I've got left to say to her.
All these other here thin bloods as well.
Aye, most of them just recently arrived in LA. Got chased off by the Sabbath or some such thing from their home cities. They're more in the dark than I am. They're a good bunch, but well, they've been through a lot. It's affected them.
Interesting. You're
That's what
aware you're
Lily tried to tell me.
vampires.
But what I don't understand are the rules and the terms and the reasons some of them are at our throats claiming we're harbingers of the apocalypse. That's what I want to know.
Maybe I will
Hope you have better luck than
look
I did.
into it.
No one's been particularly friendly to me in this city. Only reason we're in Santa Monica is because we haven't been chased out yet.
I'll ask around.
We'd appreciate it. Oh, before I forget, name's E. The black-haired beauty over there's Rosa. Sees the future, so she says. That nervous bloke is Copper. And the one who can't speak so well's Julius. Kids gloves with them. They've had it rough.
Interesting. Any idea where I could look for information?
Seems no one will talk about it. This all started that night in the diner. Maybe you could start there.
Perfect. So, even though I'm eager to end this as quickly as possible, I will say I do have some sympathy for the Thin Bloods for a few reasons that I will go into later, after this is solved. Hopefully the man I murdered in the diner won't affect this. Oh, he's alive. Perfect.
What'll it be, honey?
You see any pale, strange types in here last night?
Is that a trick question?
Couple. Surfer guy, pretty girl.
Let me think. Oh yeah, about 4 dozen a week.
Heard the term thin blood?
Thin blood. Sounds familiar. Is that one of those tropical diseases?
Try to remember.
I know I've heard that before.
Maybe a kind of strange pretty girl said something about
Oh,
it.
that girl. Nice girl. First decent human being I've seen in here for years. Not like all the
Funny.
junkies and crazies I normally see. Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, weird. She left a tip, but she didn't order a thing. Yeah, she looked so hungry, too. Just sat there all night with a full glass of water in front of her, talking about this and that. She seemed lonely, a little scared, so I let her stay in the booth until we closed. She left some stuff here. You seem to know her. Why don't you give it back to her if you run into her?
Thank you, of course. Now that we have another experience point, why don't we increase our security skill? Oh, and I still have some left. Let's look. We'll do with some scholarship. What were we given? A bail bond. Rolf Toten. The girl's photo. Santa Monica. Lily. And a purse. Bail bonds. I believe there's a bail bonds place near.
I don't care. I need to find him so he can find him. It's 250 grand of my money on the line here. Look, I'll talk to you later, okay? Let me know if you hear anything about either.
Listen to the Devil Knight, the only girl who will spend the night with you.
You tell me what I need to know.
Hey, welcome to Kilpatrick 24-hour bail bonds. My name's Arthur Kilpatrick. How can I help you?
Yes.
Caller, you've got the first shot at death.
You run this
Yep,
place?
Sure do. I'm a third-generation bondsman. Got a few employees, but I handle most every aspect of the business.
Interesting. I don't see any employees.
I gotta have a few other bondsmen to keep the place open 24 hours, plus a bounty hunter. I pull the graveyard shift because that's when all the crazy shit happens in Santa Monica.
I used to do a little yachting myself.
Bounty hunter.
You
Sounds
betcha.
interesting.
I used to do some bounty hunting back in the day. Takes a good solid set of brass balls. Pardon the expression, Missy, but it takes balls to be a good bounty hunter.
Is the bunny hunter you have now any good?
Damn good. His name's Carson, and he's great at what he does when he wants to do it. I can't seem to find him now, though. He's pissing me off, to be honest. I need him to go find someone.
Maybe I could find... Can't you find another bounty
I don't
hunter?
feel right cutting Carson loose just yet. We go way back. I knew his father, too. Tell you what, since I'm stuck here, why don't you go look for him? Just real quick. I'll pay you for your time.
Well, if there's money, sure. Where should I look for him?
Great. I suppose the first place you should look is his apartment in Santa Monica Suites. Apartment 1, I think it is. Maybe you'll find something there to let you know where he's got himself to. Here's a key card. That'll let you in.
Thank you.
Sure,
Can you
honey, what
answer
is
a question? Oh, never mind.
Fascinating.
The American government's been putting more money into space. Don't you see what's happening? I can't believe I'm the only one that's figured it out. Am I the only person alive that can see what's going on? It's because the Andromedans and the Betas are going to be fighting their war in this galaxy through us, Deb. And the American people, the people of Earth, you people, cannot let this happen. It's Move versus Atlantis all over again.
Thank you, Gomez, and that concludes the news portion of the show. Well, this girl's got to pay her bills, so it's time for a few commercials. But don't go anywhere. I'm just getting warmed up. Should I say hot?
Friggin' Chicken recently challenged several random people to a taste test between Friggin' Chicken and the other leading chicken-flavored products. Let's listen for which one they prefer.
Ma'am, care to participate in a taste test? Here, try this leading brand of chicken.
Oh my gosh! Is that week-old fish?
Now, try this.
Is your computer any different?
Chicken! What is this?
Sir, take a test for
It
me?
is.
Seriously, job these up, get.
Here, try this one.
Hey! Motherfucking great chicken right
Perfect.
there. What is this?
It's friggin' chicken.
Your
This is cat,
father.
right? Are you feeding me cat?
Try this.
Holy fuck. That's good. What the
From your father, or your father from Mom. Arthur, your father wanted me to write you to tell you that he has a boil that is 3 inches across. You really need to come visit and see this thing. Love, Mom.
You've ever had. You love the Talking
Interesting.
Pig movie, and the Talking Pig, and even the talking car in that show. You know the one I'm talking about. But now prepare for the most hilarious talkingest normally neat object yet. He's Steve Cash, a New York banker and recent whittler down on his luck.
And 10 makes 100. Here's your money, ma'am.
Man, I happen to have a glandular problem. That's it. I'm withdrawing all my millions from this bank.
Muddy.
She's an ATM machine.
I don't know why he's called Muddy.
Something familiar about this
Interesting.
ATM machine.
I love you.
Wow, those marketing guys are geniuses.
Goodbye. Anything in here?
Residents of this quiet community were shocked by the killings, though neighbors suspected the men in the house to be involved in drug distribution and had seen many strange people going inside at all hours of the night. Art criticism or vandalism? Paintings on display at Santa Monica's Gallery Noir were slashed by an intruder who evaded capture by security. The paintings were estimated to be worth nearly
Location. Mickey is hiding in the tattoo parlor in Santa
In
Monica.
other news, an apparent third victim of the Southland slasher has prompted the closing of the Santa Monica Pier, where the body was found earlier tonight. Investigators say the scene
Don't forget the key
mirrors
to the
those
tattoo
flames in
parlor. It's on
Glendale and
top of
Long
the
Beach.
TV.
In both cases, the
Perfect.
bodies of the victims were described as torn apart, though details are being withheld from the public at this time. Police urge anyone with information relating to this case to contact them. Actor Ash Rivers is lucky to be alive after his car crashed into the gate at Parasite Studios earlier tonight. Witnesses say that they were shocked when the Negative Zero star emerged unscathed and apparently
so you wanna shoot
unfazed
things.
by his high-speed accident. Rivers' agent released a statement stating that Rivers' crash was due to a mechanical problem and that
The McGee case is getting weirder all the time. I found where he's been hiding and I saw some really creepy stuff down there. There was no sign of McGee. I'm gonna follow up on another lead I got too. I updated the files on the computer. This is Carson signing off. Man, that sounds stupid.
Alright, so this McGee case is getting odd. Well, let's go to the tattoo parlor and see. Perfect. Amazing designs. A basement. Interesting. Anything else? No. Let's go down to this basement then. Wednesday, 2200, Gimbals Prosthetics. 310-555-0192. Let's call him. This is Gimbals Prosthetics.
Might I speak with Mr. McGee?
I'm using his phone, but he doesn't seem to be here at the moment. Can I help you?
I'm not sure. I had an appointment with him a few days ago, but he never seemed to show up. Do you know when he'll return?
I don't, actually. What appointment was this?
Well, Mr. McGee was going to be doing some modeling for me. Medical reference for the work that I do here in the studio. It's a shame, really. The proposition would have been quite lucrative for him.
Lucrative. Too bad, I'm looking for him myself.
Isn't that a coincidence? Why are you looking for him?
He's an old friend.
Oh, I see.
Could you answer a few questions for me?
Delighted to. Why don't you come down to my office and we'll talk about it?
Where are you located?
I'm at the end of Main Street, small basement studio. The sign says Gimbals Prosthetics. Just ring the buzzer and I'll let you in.
Perfect. I'll see you. Quick cash for modeling. Call Gimbals Prosthetics. police key is there. Interesting. Maybe we don't need to go looking for this man. If that is the case, I prefer not to. Let's see. Interesting. Tire iron. And a diary. Perfect. Let's look at this diary. A woman's diary. So, there's a man that's beautiful. Things are getting serious with Rolf. He wanted to give me something special. 9 p.m. Woke up late again. Rolf came over last night. He said the reason I hadn't eaten anything was because I needed blood. He said it was all I can eat now and that I wouldn't feel hungry anymore and if I drank some. He had a bag of it from the local blood bank. I tried to refuse, but I couldn't. What is happening? Had to bail Rolf out of jail today. He was arrested because his visa expired. He looked frightened. I'm afraid he's going to leave. I haven't seen or heard from Rolf since I bailed him out. Talked with this guy I met in the Surfside. I met the guy at the Surfside again. He has no idea what I am. I brought E, the guy from the Surfside, back to my apartment last night. He said he's going back to Australia in a few days now that the tournament is coming to an end. I don't want him to leave. I've never felt this way about someone before, not even Rolf. He kissed me last night and I couldn't stop myself from biting into his neck. I drank too much and I gave him my blood to save him. When I explained it all to him, he said he never wanted to see me again. What have I done? I haven't been able to feed since that night with E. I'm afraid of what will happen. I remember Rolf brought food from the blood from the blood bank. Maybe if I can sneak in, I can grab a few bags and get out before anyone catches me. Alright, we'll go back to the blood bank then.
Dr. Buckman, tell the operator. Dr. Buckman, tell the operator.
You.
It's a mesmerizing liquid, isn't it?
Oh, I don't care. I need to get into the back room.
Employees only. Them's the rules of the Queen Bitch herself.
It's okay, the Queen Bitch gave me her okay. Go ahead.
She did, huh? Queen Bitch told me never to let anyone back there. I remember her repeating it over and over in that cold, pretentious voice of hers.
Go ahead. Call her.
Opened.
Thank you. Don't worry, I won't make too much of a mess. Perfect. Now, let's see.
Who are you? What are you doing back here?
You're getting sleepy. Good night.
I feel asleep.
Yes, computer. Freezers. What's going on there? Okay. My password. Okay, temperature. Okay. Freezer, -10, -12, and -2. Passcode. 1969. It's when we went to the moon. Do you remember? I certainly do. That one freezer seems to be an awful lot less cool than the others. I wonder why that is. What was in here?
Dr. Scott, tell the operator, please. Dr. Scott, tell the operator.
Perfect. What's in here? Nothing. Amazing. Where is the freezer? Oh, this is not where I would like to go either.
Dr. Scott, tell the operator, please. Dr. Scott, tell the operator.
Ah, yes. Freezer 1. Freezer 2 and freezer. No. Is this the one that was lowest? Ah. 1969. How did that open, I wonder? Here it is. Oh, Lily, what are you doing here?
Hunger. I need it. A drop of it on my tongue, sliding down my throat. The hot flash in my brain lighting up my body. I can smell it everywhere. Blood.
What happened to you?
It's painful, like I'm going to die. It's calling. Never felt like this before. Let me go. I can smell it. I have to have it.
Hold still. I'll let you go.
You don't look well at all.
Oh, sweet mother of God!
Oops. Oh, you look fine now.
It's never been so satisfying. All of it. I drank until I heard his heart stop and I was sucking on a dry, dead artery. It was euphoric. I've killed him. I've never killed anyone before. What happened? What came over me?
The beast took over. It happens.
It's not who I am. I've never done anything like that before. I'm not a monster.
Of course you're not. A real monster would have left some blood in him.
I tried to steal some blood. I heard they sold it. I was hungry, and I can't hunt in town. They caught me, and I was trapped. Thought I'd never escape, but I killed a man. I have to get out of here.
Looks like you got your blood.
No, I'm not a monster. It was instinct. I couldn't control it. I'm not responsible for my actions.
I keep telling yourself
I'm no
that.
murderer. I didn't choose to be like this. I'm not a monster.
It
My
happens.
name is Lily.
So you're Lily. You're the one E told me about.
You know E? How do you know E?
I said I'd help him. What do you know about Thin Bloods?
I tried to tell E about his condition, but he was so furious at me for what I'd made him into, he wouldn't listen. A thin blood, from what I've been told, is a vampire whose blood is weaker than most.
Go on.
Rolf, my sire, told me some vampires consider thin bloods a bad omen and want them destroyed. Rolf wasn't a thin blood, and apparently I am. I don't know why. Rolf abandoned me. His group wouldn't take me in. They said I was a liability. He left me with so many questions, and I did the same thing to E, but I didn't want to leave E. He forced me out of his life. I should go. I have to get out of here.
Oh, I gained
Maybe out of the
humanity.
city.
Perfect.
Soon.
You should go see E on the beach. He said he forgives you. He wants to see you.
Doesn't hate me anymore?
No. Quite the opposite.
I'll go see him. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
You're welcome.
about
Goodbye.
tonight, what I did? Please, don't tell E. It's not my fault. I couldn't control it. I've never done anything like this before. I'm no killer.
Yes, yes, yes. You're not a killer. It's not your fault. Goodbye. Alright.
Why'd you have to go and let that bitch out? There's one less Phil in the world now. Why'd you have to let her go and eat him, huh? Now I'll never get to do in that
Oh,
bastard
like you were
myself.
going to.
Well, you know what? No blood for you. No more!
That incident? Nothing happened back there. That was just... I was just buying blood.
That's interesting. A missed opportunity. Guns make people cocky. They never appreciate what a skilled hand married to a knife can do. All you have to do is get close enough to cut off the trigger finger. Or their face. You like to talk, don't you? I want to hear a story. Tell me, what's the best way you violenced up someone? I want to hear every grisly detail. If I like your story, I'll sell you some blood.
Interesting. One time I was jumped in an alley by this big man.
Yes?
Shouts at me, threatens me, saying they're going to kill me.
Keep going.
So I took out my gun and made them do a crazy dance, laughed my ass off. Let's say they fell onto a sharp object 26 times.
You're okay with me. Need a fix?
Not from you. Anyway, so the reason why I decided to take pity on this man was, well, because I too am a thin blood. It's quite hard to live as one, to be honest. I was a lucky one. I fortunately had a brood mate, Dixon, while he did carry on our bloodline traits. I did not. And when our sire decided to exterminate me, he helped me get rid of her instead. I'm grateful to him for that. But I do know what it is like to be hunted. Which is why I'm not part of the Camarilla. If they were to find out what I was, they would try to eradicate me, which I'm not a fan of. As you could probably tell, I am not a fan of dying. At least not again. So, I made my home with the Anarch movement, which we have not been introduced to quite yet. But soon, I'm sure you will be.
Let's drain it. Let's stake it and leave it out for the sunrise.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Think you could blow up our warehouse and get away with it? Ah, lick. Let's pull out its eyes and its tongue and its teeth.
I want its teeth.
Camarilla fuck. Boys, I think we could all use a little entertainment. Those of you sitting in the first few rows will get wet. Son of a bitch!
Leave.
There's 3 of us, Rodriguez.
Yeah. 3 of us.
What are you gonna do? Shoot us? This ain't over. We'll find you. You too, Rodriguez. You're both dead. Nobody messes with a Sabbat and lives.
Keep moving. Trouble sure seems to like you.
It certainly does.
Good effort. Execution needs a little work. You look like shit. Name's Nines.
Thank you for the help.
Should have been more careful, newbie. This ain't the burbs.
I'll remember that.
You do that. Me? I got things to deal with. Why don't you pay me a visit at the last round tonight? I don't know what you've heard so far, but it's time you heard the real story.
I'll think about it.
This is a mean existence. Stay out of trouble, kid.
I'll try. Alright, let us go meet the prince and then I will be done. Interesting.
What's the hops, bro?
Yes, here it is. If you can't tell by the overbearing height and statues, this is definitely a place that adventure resides. Oh, is this the same man from the art gallery? And of course he named the building after himself. I'm not surprised.
You, look familiar, Missy. We haven't met before, have we? Oh, yeah, back in Santa Monica, right? Ooh, I don't know what came over me back there, but now I got this this sweet night shift position, and I'm happier than the time I met Sipowicz. Ah, well, enough about my lucky break. You, here to see one of the bigwigs, Missy?
Yes,
Would that
LaCroix.
be Sebastian LaCroix of the LaCroix Foundation, or Dwayne LaCroix of Insurrection Baby Formula Company?
What do you think?
Okay then. Mr. LaCroix, he told me to expect someone fitting your description sometime tonight. You go right on up.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, you have a good power meeting, or whatever it is you types do up there. You need any security? Well, you just ring the front desk and ask for Officer Chunk. That's me, in case you were wondering.
Thanks, Chunk. Yes, there he is.
There you are. I was informed of your presence in the building. Since you're here, I'll take the liberty of assuming you've destroyed the warehouse. This is correct, yes?
Yes.
Most excellent. I had no doubt you'd prove my decision a prudent one. I trust you encountered no impediments to your progress on account of my personnel.
No, none at all.
That's the answer I like to hear. You've done well, circumstances being what they were. I will admit, not many in your position would have overcome such a trial. But don't misunderstand me. It was no fool's errand. You may yet prove to be a genuine asset. It's a bit disturbing the lack of talent within this organization as of late. Tell me, what would you say to doing a bit of reconnaissance for me?
I guess. What exactly do I have to do?
Rumors spreading around the kindred community concerning the Elizabeth Dane, the cargo ship that was towed into port recently. Have you heard of it?
No.
The Dane was found out at sea. The reports say it was without crew, but they have yet to report a fate of said crew. The police are investigating the Dane as we speak. Even the Nosferatu have little information on what's been found. However, the reason the ship has caused such speculation is because it was transporting an object called the Ankaran sarcophagus. Now, I'm not one to predicate a decision based on conjecture, so what I need is fact. And more importantly, I need evidence that the occurrences on the Dane were not supernatural in nature, and in no way relate to this Ankaran sarcophagus.
And what do you need me to do?
You have 3 objectives. 1. I want you to examine the sarcophagus for anything unusual. You may sense something peculiar about the sarcophagus. In fact, many kindred in the city have reported an uneasiness in the air since the Dane's arrival. Do not, under any circumstances, open the Ankaran sarcophagus. Secondly, the police have begun their investigation. Find out what they have concluded thus far. Thirdly, take the cargo manifest for the ship. I want to find out what else it was carrying. The last thing we want is police aware of our existence, so be careful what you do in front of them. And unlike the warehouse, you cannot wholesale slaughter a ship full of lawmen without consequences. Is this understood?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good. Oh, and it has come to my attention that you had an encounter with Nines Rodriguez earlier. The man so does love to throw that cretinous charm of his brashly about. What exactly did Mr. Rodriguez say?
He asked me to visit.
Then, you should go humor the by-the-numbers rhetoric he's so desperately aching to spew. Or please, before the chance of fascist oppressor from that dive of theirs clog the air and choke the local kine.
Fine.
Give the Anarch community my regards.
Alright. Well, this is the end of my spot, or my place, in this series of videos. The next person you will meet will introduce you to the Anarch community and what it is they're all about. They are a lot more lenient than the Camarilla. And I expect most of you to enjoy meeting them more than people like LaCroix. But anyway, with that, I am off, and I suppose you will see the next of us on Monday. Have a good night. Goodbye.